Okay, so here we have the final of the second MTGO Super Saturday. Exit 249 on Necrotic Ooze with a slight edge of just normal Reanimator, especially out of the board, post board, against Doomguy 77 on Mono Black Aristocrats. I think that opens it up with a Duress after mulliganing to 6. Doomguy kept 7. Takes a Bitter Blossom from a hand of Swamp, Bitter Blossom of Geomancer, Spymaster's Vault, Bitter Blossom, Rat Out, and of Geomancer. I do not know what Rat Out is. Rat Out gives a creature. There you go. A little instant removal spell / token maker. That's pretty cute. Priest of Fell Rites from Exa. Conceivably buried alive into some kind of victory. Second Bitter Blossom in the one that wasn't Duress displayed. That's going to be awfully slow if Exa has a functioning combo hand. I don't know what this deck has against this combo. It's a lot of kind of value-ish, tokenish stuff in the main. And then Duress, Erebos' Intervention, Lost Legacy, Scarab Feast, Pithing Needle in the sideboard. Okay, so the post-board games might be better for the Aristocrats deck. So we went for a Priest of Rites on Siren Sanity. That's kind of interesting with a Bitter Blossom in play because there's kind of just an on-board answer, right? Like Siren Sanity here is not a... What's that? Right. Yeah. Only in the sideboard. They have Grave Titan and Magister of Worth in the sideboard, but main deck, yeah, if they need to unmark Grave for like a 1 creature kill, the only option they've got is Sire. And I mean, it's not useless here to make your opponent discard a bunch of cards and have a 6/4, but it's interesting, when there's a Bitter Blossom, which essentially means all it does is kind of counter the Bitter Blossom, make them lose 1 every turn. Unmarked Grave for an Ooze. So just gradually building towards the 5th land, Priest of Fell Rites for the Ooze, and then full combo. Yeah, I mean, maybe the Sire was just great because it got rid of, a Rat Out and a Theomancer, a Lord Skitter, and then whatever, and then if they draw 3+ drops, they have to discard them instead of playing them. So, I mean, it's brought a whole lot of time for this Priest of Fell Rites to do things. Animate Dead on an opponent's creature, a tried and trusted philosophy. So now the fact that we've got a 6/4 that must be chomp blocks every turn, yet more relevant because we also have Lord Skitter and his attendant rats. So yeah, for all the fact that it didn't look, it's not 2 mana win. It wasn't to win the game. It's actually been pretty wild. And here we are, unearthing the priest, and getting back the ooze, just in preference, just to have a 4/3 and in preparation for drawing a Buried Alive or so on. And we've just got a really good board here against a deck not playing Wraths. And this looks pretty over. The mono black deck's got to like its chances a lot more in post-board games with all these sideboard cards. Scarab Feast seems... There are ways with Ooze to play around that kind of one-shot graveyard hate, but I think they'd probably be good. So I can sacrifice the fairy, which would be bad, or the bitter blossom probably also be terrible, so it chooses not to do either of those things. So Necrotic Ooze checks all graveyards, and Animate Dead can target all graveyards. So we actually have Ayara's ability online. Did not think of that. So we drew a card, and it was presumably Ripples of Undeath. But it's not. We don't have the static here, so we're not draining. We can just sack to draw a card. And we did not attack. Didn't want to trade off Fairy and Braids for Sire while getting in for 3, or whatever opponent might have chosen to do. I just wonder if you just all-out attack there, and who cares about drawing cards and clever stuff. Although I'm not currently 8-0 and in the final, so who knows. Draws a Sarcomancy, bit low power for this stage of the game, but better than nothing, I guess. The Spymaster's Vault could be relevant at some stage. And Doomguy's actually going on the offensive here. Gonna sack that fairy. No, it's like Sarcomancy, right? So you have to either sack Animated or Undeath or lose 2 life, and Doomguy draws a card, chooses to lose 2 life and then draw a card. Now that stays in hand because it happened after the Sire of Insanity trigger. Funny. Quite hard to be in your opponent's turn with a card in hand with the Sire of Insanity on the board, but it is possible. Is it both players? At the beginning of each end step, each player... Oh, okay, so it doesn't really help. But here's a Buried Alive, which presumably gets us infinite mana and a kill, and so forth, right? Yeah, Cinderhaze, Wretch, and Moss Order both in the graveyard, which is infinite mana, and Engine Rat on top of them, which is how you kill somebody if you have infinite mana in this particular deck. So do we think that these sideboard cards are going to make all the difference? 3 Duress, 3 Erebos' Intervention, 3 Lost Legacy, 3 Witch's Vengeance, which probably doesn't matter, 2 Scarab Feast, and a Pithing Needle. It's a lot of stuff that you might want. I mean, it's certainly crushing today. About to be 8-0 and up a game in the final. It's not super fast unless, well, a Dark Ritual complicates that, I guess. You know, between Dark Ritual and Animate Dead, there are some draws that are presumably super fast. Oh my god, they have not lost a game. Exit has not lost a game today. This is their 17th game win in a row. Whoa! Whoa! That's crazy. That is crazy. And Lost Legacy's gonna have to... That's nuts. Right. I mean, it is true that you can ooze combo with a Scarab Feast on the stack if you play the pieces out in the right order. So maybe that has something to do with it. And if you lost Legacy this deck, it's not over. So in fact, you spent a turn possibly taking them off the plan that they weren't on, right? So I don't know. It's obviously working today anyway. It's pretty funny that the Sigh of Insanity was much more like a mind twist than like a 6-4 that wins the game, but a mind twist can be pretty darn good. A mere 7 more ability activations away from victory in game 1 here. Don't click the wrong thing. I don't know if there's a catastrophic thing to click here. I think not. You'd have to put multiple -1s on in a row or something to really screw up. There we go. Okay. And 17 minutes on the clock. So probably just fine for any even complicated games. I played Harsh Mentor this season, but that was more for Nadu than for this, but it's good. It'd be good here too. I wonder if they would have won this game if they had just made Sigh of Insanity, animated dead the Lord Skitter, and attacked a bunch. Not necessarily, but it seems probable. Still, nice to be deterministic about it and get your opponent dead and not have to go through more turns. So does Exit bring in Dam? Defense grid seems too narrow. That's really for counter spells. It's not for like Scarab Feast. Lost Legacy doesn't seem to do anything. Bringing Grave Titan seems like something this Aristocrats deck might be able to deal with, right? You know, just put out an Ophiomancer, block the Grave Titan, trade off with the 2/2s, and Magister of Worth. Vindicate might be good. I don't know. That's kind of like a very fair plan kind of card. I guess Vindicate is mostly for hate pieces that are permanents rather than to like interact with your opponent's plan. You interact with your opponent's plan by comboing. So yeah, so maybe not much or even any sideboarding from Exa. Meanwhile, a kind of potential about up to 12, if you want the pithing needle, up to 12 cards from Doom Guy. Interesting. Yes, right. Yeah, of course. You can just naming it is just great. What am I talking about? I'm thinking of World Gorge Dragon, which I played, where you can just only name Wishgore Talisman, and it's like very so-so. But, oh my god, we have double. What's that? Okay. So we turn one Sigh of Insanity through a duress. What the hell? What? Yeah. So they took very live away from them, so that they couldn't do whatever they wanted essentially, and they drew unmarked grave. Is that right? Wow. I mean, this is it. It's got. Well, it's not a done deal. The other deck has Dark Ritual. No, Dark Ritual doesn't help. It's kind of a done deal, right? What is the sequence of draws here? Land, removal spell of some kind. I don't know if there is one. I guess chump, land, Ophiomancer. make a make a snake. Gonna have to be a land very soon, though, isn't it? 16 is a lot more than 15 in this scenario. Looks like another non-land. Nope, it's swamp. Just slow rolling the swamp. Well, this is for 9018 and it's definitely advantage Exa or eggs. Probably just eggs, is it? I don't know. Down goes Iara. Unmarked grave for Scourge Familiar, setting ourselves up for some later combo-rific turn if Doomguy somehow finds an answer. Third land is probably a good draw, strangely, because it opens up. I don't know though. to rest the empty-handed opponent, put them to 1. So there's some chumps here and some answers here. This one is a chump. Just unmarked graving their whole library into their graveyard. Can we do Bastion of Remembrance into Bastion of Remembrance into... Oh no, Sarcmancy. A very temporary chump here as it becomes the clock itself. I don't suppose there's a 4-power creature. Is there anything like Death Touch? I don't think so. There it is. Wow. 9018. Beautifully done. Congrats. Exit 249.